So to say that we see things differently based on our experiences is a misnomer. We all do. We are all our sum total of our life's experiences, as evidenced by the latest Gallup poll on Trump's job performance by race, because that's how we have to do things around here. And it's always amazing to me when people go, why do you always bring race into it? Because it is involved in every aspect of our life, every single one. I didn't introduce race. It always was here and always will be. That's the way it goes. That's what happens when you start out so infamously. That's what happens. You can't just scrub it away. So the latest Gallup poll on Trump's job performance by race, 47% of white people approve. 47%, almost 50%. 49% disapprove. By black, 5% approve. 88% disapprove. Hispanics, 17% approve. 77% disapprove. So the majority of his polls, the support that he does have, comes from the majority of, not the majority, but a lot of white people. So he has a huge white base. So regardless of what has happened, regardless of how you saw him treat the hurricane victims, regardless of how you've seen him fumble around, regardless of how he tweets North Korea, regardless of how he treated the Charlottesville white supremacists, there are some people who only see that as positive. Most of the people polled, close to 50%, like what's happening. They like what's happening. So that's not a misnomer. That's not me saying it. That's Gallup. So if you got a problem with these polls, take it up with Gallup. So that means that despite everything, every acrimonious, evil, boneheaded, misled thing, that the majority of people polled, close to 50%, approve. They approve. They like the way this country's going. They like what's happening. And the only way that I can figure that is because they wanted it to. They were tired. They like this upheaval. They like that people are put on edge. They like that immigrants have been cut out. They like that the disrespectful things he says. They like that they're trying to take away affirmative action. They like the way Jeff Sessions is handling things. They don't care about Russia. They like what's happening in this country. Everybody ain't Greg Popovich and Eminem. They like what's happening. This is what they voted for. And it goes back to that old analogy when I talked a couple of months ago, and I talked about Solomon's baby. There are any number of people who want this country torn asunder and wrecked rather than share it with somebody else, as evidenced by this. Who could be proud of our people, the American citizens in Puerto Rico, drinking hazardous water? Who could be proud of that? All because the stock market's high? All because unemployment's low? All because of their tax cuts? You would sacrifice anything. You don't care at all. We see the world differently because you want it this way. It's appalling. Anybody with any sense at all, there are people who are questioning this man's not only aptitude to do the job, but mental capacity. They're questioning whether he is sane enough to do the job. But to the vast majority of white folks, this is the way they'd rather have it. They'd rather have this country torn apart and wrecked and destroyed than have it be shared. It's fair to say Donald Trump is everything that they thought Barack Obama would be. His whole effort is to scrub that man's memory from history. And his only answer is, if he said yes, I'll say no. Donald Trump is everything they thought that Barack Obama would be. To be clear, Donald Trump is the nigga that they thought Obama would be. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.